Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and we're going to talk about Sex in the City again today. Yes, it's my face again. We're going to talk about Sex in the City. Okay, so today we're going to finish up season 2. Thank God. All right. I can't believe I went through all 18 episodes, and I already finished season 1. My name's Diego. I've watched every single episode of Sex and the City, and I watched both movies, and I watched that piece of shit show, And Just Like Crap. We reviewed all those episodes here. So this video today is going to be part 2 of yesterday's video, which was part 1. What we're doing here is episode 18 of season 2. Okay, so this is the end of season 2, all right? So there was so much going on in that episode that I had to divide up into 2 videos. So I'm going to cover the second half of this episode right now, and that will finish out season 2. Okay, and then the next time I do another video about Sex and the City, we're going to start with episode 1 of season 3. We're going to go to season 3 and see how that's going on. All right, so just to start off with, I wanted to show you something here. I got my little omnibus here. In case you wanted to know how I got all these episodes, I got this thing here, all right? And it's basically every episode on here, and I bought it months ago. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. If you look inside here, you've got every season in here, you know. They're all color-coded and stuff, and they got little descriptions in there. A lot of bonus features, which I haven't really watched the bonus features, but the entire show, all 94 episodes are on here. Okay, the movies aren't on here, but every episode is on here, and all sorts of bonus features and stuff is in here. So I got it kind of cheap on eBay. The problem though with this omnibus here is some of these DVDs are old, and like this is a used copy, so they don't all work. And unfortunately, you can't really get your money back, all right? Because I noticed like a couple of discs don't work. Okay, they don't play. They're not scratched, but they just won't play in the DVD. They just keep skipping over and stopping, you know. So I got tired of that. But luckily, what I had to do in that situation is I had to go to my public storage. Yes, my public storage, and I had to get my original collection from back in the day. Yes, I still have them. Still have that crap. All right. So yes. So either way, no matter what happens to these DVDs, okay, I'm still gonna watch the episodes. All right. So just letting you know, okay, I am committed to this. I'm gonna finish this entire goddamn show no matter what. All right. So, like I said, this is season 2, episode 18, part 2. Okay. So a lot of stuff happened earlier in this episode. We met Mr. Cockney or Mr. Cocky. Okay. I give you one guess why he's called that. All right. And she's having a thing with Samantha. Charlotte is still traumatized over her horse dying when she was a little girl. so she's considering getting a horse, but she's scared to. What do you call it? Carrie's about to have dinner, have lunch with Big, and he's got something important to tell her. We're about to get to that. And then Miranda has decided that she wants to stay friends with Steve, so they're going out as friends, platonic friends. And they're giving that a try. So we're going to see what happens. Okay, so where we left off yesterday was Big and Carrie were on a date, a platonic date. This is their attempt to stay friends. And Big was very nervous about it, and Carrie's nervous too. But they're having some drinks now. She's having her Cosmos. He's drinking scotch. So they're talking about the relationship. They're making little jokes about it. Okay, so now the important stuff is happening. Okay, so here we go. So where we left off was they're talking. Okay, and she asked Big. She says, "Okay, well, all right, I'm ready now. Tell me about her." Okay, when she's talking about Natasha, that's Big's new girlfriend that she saw him with, and he's like, "Well, you know, Carrie, she's very sweet." And she, "Okay, that's it. Shut up. I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to hear more about her. Don't want to hear more about her." So he's like, "Okay, I'll shut up about her." And then she says, "Okay, you know what? Let's just make a pact right now that, you know, unless we're in a serious relationship, let's not talk about our partners. Let's not talk about them unless it's serious." Okay, and he's like, "Okay." And he tells her, "Well, Carrie, it is serious. Natasha and I are engaged." The look on Carrie's face, I mean, it's just like you can see it, and you can see her heart drop. Her heart just drops right there. You know, that's the kind of thing she didn't want to hear. Now, I gotta blame Carrie a little bit here, okay? Because she knew this was a possibility. She already knew that he's seeing someone else, okay? So she already understands that, okay? But there's always a possibility when you're dating somebody that you're gonna fall in love and you're gonna make it more serious, okay? So for Carrie, the problem with Carrie is that she doesn't want to understand that Big is not a part of her, okay? She seems to think that he's still a part of her even when he's not. And she's still holding him accountable to being a part of her even when he's already detached himself from her, okay? They're not together anymore, okay? She's made that very clear. Okay, but she still treats him like he's still a part of her. You know, like she doesn't want to let him go. He's not doing anything to hold on to her. He's accepted her decision. You know, okay, you don't want to see me anymore, whatever. But you think I'm a player. You think I don't care enough about you. I don't respect our relationship enough. You don't want to see me anymore. Fine, I won't see you anymore. Bye. And she's just like, it's a way that women can manipulate a man by telling them, okay, so I'm going to leave you if you don't do what I say. And then he's okay. What do you want, honey? You know, and that doesn't work on Big. Okay, because Big has options. He doesn't have to stay with Carrie. He can give or take Carrie. He likes her. He loves being around her. He really does. I think he's more impressed by her personality than anything else. She's very quick with the one-liners. She's got all the non sequiturs. The quips are just keep coming. Okay, she's a writer, for Christ's sake, so she knows how to talk. She also says these funny things, very witty things. You know, so I think that's what she brings to the table that every other girl can't bring. Okay, so I understand why he's attracted to her in that way. Okay, but if it's just like sex, does he really need to jump through the hoops that he has to jump through for her to get sex? No, he doesn't. Okay, I've said this in other videos, okay, but he can get a girl that's a lot less maintenance. That's not high maintenance like Carrie, because Carrie is very high maintenance. She wants to be treated a certain way, you know, a very specific way, and she expects you to know what that is without her telling you. Okay, and if she has to tell you, she's pissed off that she had to tell you. Okay, now I'm not talking about simple things like opening the door. I'm talking about understand, you know, when she wants to, you know, when she wants to meet your mother and you don't want her to meet your mother. So what's she gonna do? She's gonna show up anyway. You know, she'll call you at all hours of the night. You know, she's gonna leave with other guys. You take her to a party and she's gonna leave with another guy. Okay, okay. She'll call you drunk out of her mind many, many times. Sometimes she'll threaten to have sex with someone else if you don't fucking stop what you're doing and come see her immediately. You know, she tries to have sex with you when you're trying to watch a pay-per-view boxing match. Okay, that you're really invested in. You know, I mean, she does these things. You know, she criticizes him on stuff. You know, and it's like, you know, I mean, how much of this do I have to take to get the sex? You know, I know it's a bad way of looking at it, okay? But, you know, he's trying to weigh out his options here. It's okay, you know, if I stay with Carrie, I'm gonna have to put up with this. Okay? If I find a low maintenance girl that's younger and looks better than Carrie, I only have to put up with this. You know why? Because he can do that. Okay, I know he's the bar that these women, especially because Carrie's the main character, he's like the bar that Carrie judges all men according to Big. Every guy that she dates on the show, she compares to Big, because Big's been there since the first episode. Okay, so she compares everyone to Big. Big is the paragon of men. That's her idea of what a man is Big. That's the perfect man, okay, who's imperfect. And the only thing that makes him imperfect is that he knows how to hurt her feelings, okay, and that bothers her, okay. But other than that, he's perfect. You know, if he catered to her, you know, in every way that she wanted to, then he'd be kind of boring. But he knows how to push her buttons, and that turns her on. He knows how to get her emotionally, you know, and he knows how to elicit emotional responses from her, and that turns her on. He's kind of a wild card. He's mysterious that way, you know. That turns her on. That's the kind of guy that she wants to be with, okay. But at the same time, she doesn't want to suffer as much. And the fact that they're not together anymore doesn't change the fact that she still thinks that she is entitled to him treating her that way. That he can still push her buttons, he can still turn her on. She still likes to get turned on by him. She still likes to be around him. She still likes to talk to him. She still likes to do all these things, even though she's not, on a logical sense, she's not with him anymore, so she shouldn't expect these things anymore. You don't get these things anymore when you're not dating somebody anymore. You know? Not that intimacy. And she wants that intimacy, but she doesn't want to be with him. Okay? It's like she wants to be with him, but her mind is telling her not to. Okay? But she doesn't seem to understand that. She doesn't understand that this guy does not belong to you. He never did. Okay, and the only reason she's trying to be his friend now is because she still wants him to treat her the way he did before. And not the bad way, the good way. The good way, you know, to get her excited, to keep her on her toes, to keep her guessing about him. That's what she was really in love with. She was in love with trying to figure him out. Because she never really knew. You know? And that's what she was in love with. And she still wants to keep that, knowing that he's already with somebody else. That's a bad way to go, okay? It's very selfish. It's very immature. But then again, you know, Carrie is pretty selfish and she's pretty immature. She even admitted it earlier in this episode that she's that way, you know? So I know we feel for her and we relate to her, okay? But what she's trying to get from Big, she doesn't have the right to. She doesn't have the rights to that anymore. She doesn't. They're not together anymore. That's what happens when you're not together. You don't get that anymore, you know? And she's trying to get it without, you know, getting it, you know? So anyway. So when Big tells her that he's engaged to Natasha now, she flips out. she completely flips out because he's already made a commitment to Natasha, a commitment that he never made to her. Okay, now she has no idea why. All she knows is that he's engaged to this woman who's younger and prettier, and he never was engaged to her, even though that's what she wanted. You know, she wanted the relationship to go there. She was really, I mean, she was pushing her foot on the pedal, on the gas all the way to get there, okay? And he was the one slowing it down. So it bothers her. It bothers her pride, okay, that he would pick this young, beautiful woman who's very low maintenance, I think, so far that we know, very low maintenance, as opposed to her, who's a very high maintenance, very witty and high maintenance woman, okay? Well, of course he's gonna pick the low maintenance one. What guy wouldn't, okay? I'm sorry, ladies. Well, what guy wouldn't, If you had a choice between, some young, pleasing woman who wants to make you happy, who's not ashamed to make you happy. And then you got someone like fucking Barbara Streisand. Which one are you going to pick? Of course. Of course. And the only reason I mentioned Barbara Streisand is because they mentioned her later on in this episode. Okay? That's the paragon of Carrie, is Barbara Streisand. I think they're even friends. They probably go to the same synagogue. Okay? But, they're comparing Robert Redford's character in The Way We Were to, to Big. I think that's the inspiration for Big on the show. Okay? And we haven't gotten to that yet. So, of course, Carrie flips out when she hears that Big's engaged. She can't stand it. She starts screaming. She starts yelling, making a big scene at the restaurant. Another reason why, Big would be hesitant to take her back, to stay with her. Because this is the kind of shit that Carrie does when she's upset. She screams, she yells, she throws things, she makes a scene. This is the kind of person that Carrie is, we root for her because we're on her side. She's the main character. The whole show is through her eyes. But it's still immature, childish, and bad behavior, When you're an adult, you don't do this stuff, But she does, Okay, he tells her basically, that, hey, I wanted to hear it, I wanted you to hear it from me, and that's why I agreed to have lunch with you today. And Carrie's like, enough, no more, Carrie's like, I've had it. She starts talking about how she has a headache. I got a headache. I can't hear anymore. I got a headache. I cannot believe this. You're engaged. How can you be engaged? So you're the one that has a problem with commitment. How the hell can you be fucking engaged? You told me you never ever wanted to get married again. What the fuck happened to you? And he's like, well, people change. No, you don't fucking change on me like that. You told me you never wanted to get married. You don't change on me like that. Okay, the truth is, it's not that you don't want to get married. It's that you don't want to get married to me. Well, I already explained that. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, obviously, I don't know what the writers. This is my best guess of why Big is acting this way. Okay, one straight man to another. Okay, so Big's like, well, seeing the way Natasha is, she wanted to. And Carrie interrupts him. He's like, don't say her fucking name. Don't you ever fucking say her fucking name again. She's like, don't you dare. You string me along, and then you marry some fucking 25-year-old after 5 months. He's like, hey, I never strung you along, Carrie. And she's like, no. And she fucking gets up, starts walking away. He's like, Carrie, wait. Don't end it this way. Let's not end it this way. And she's like, no, I'm fucking leaving. Like hell. Don't touch me. Have a good fucking life with Natasha Ninsky over there. And he's like, and you're the one that ended it, not me. So anyway, she knocks over the chair. She storms out of that restaurant, knocks over the chair, trips over the stairs. She screams at the waiter, those stairs are very dangerous. And she makes a big scene and walks out of the restaurant, She's upset, she's upset, and like I said, that's what I was trying to explain there is what Big was thinking, okay? Like I said, Carrie's high maintenance, okay? Now, why the hell Big would want to get engaged, okay, when he is against, I think it's just that he knows he's not getting younger. He knows that Carrie is a big handful of drama to be juggling, and at his age, he probably just doesn't want to juggle it. He likes being around her, but if she wasn't such a, I'm sorry to say, a basket case. Okay, she's not a basket case. Okay, but if she wasn't such a complicated and emotional and sensitive person, okay, does that make you feel better? Okay, then, he probably would stay with her. But she's very neurotic. She's very quirky, very, I know, very relatable. And like I said, she's not a bad person, so he knows that. Okay, he's got some sort of respect for her. It's just that, she's a lot to handle. I mean, she's a lot to handle. And a guy like him can get so many women that are not a lot to handle. Okay, that are pretty simple, I mean, look at Leo DiCaprio. Do you really think Leo DiCaprio would put up with a girl like Carrie? Okay, no, that's why he dates all these 21-year-old supermodels and he dumps them and gets another one. You know why? Because he never has to be around there when they get that age and start pressuring him. He can just have his fun and move along in life. And Big is like that type of a guy. He's got the kind of pull that Leo DiCaprio does. He can just grab another 20-year-old supermodel, boom, get rid of her, grab another 20-year-old supermodel. Okay, no drama, no huff, no muss. God, don't you, I mean, if every guy could have that, don't you think they would? Of course, but not every guy's like Big. That's what I'm saying. Big doesn't represent all of us. He doesn't. He's such a small minority of us that it's not even worth mentioning, Most of us are just ordinary guys. We don't have these options, okay, that Big has. But Big has those options, so what does he do? He exercises his options. That's what he does, He wants to settle down, but he doesn't want, drama queen, to marry a drama queen. Okay. Yes, probably Natasha's probably a lot more boring than Carrie is. Yeah, absolutely. But maybe that's what he wants. He would rather have that than, all the fucking craziness. Anyway. Okay, so now we're down to Charlotte. Charlotte and Carrie are at the horse stables, and Charlotte's trying to get the courage to get back on a horse, literally to get back in the saddle. Because she's still traumatized over what happened to her horse that her daddy put down when he threw her back when she was a little girl. So she's at the Escotarian Ranch. She's trying to get on the horse. They bring the horse over, and of course, all Carrie's doing is smoking her fucking cigarettes, even though there's fucking hay everywhere. It is extremely flammable. She's smoking cigarettes like crazy and talking about Big. He's like, I broke in Big. Now idiot stick figures got him. He's just no. And she's walking around in Manolo Blahniks, of course. And of course, she's stepping on shit. What do I got to show for it? I'm stepping on shit. On horse shit. She is, well, why are you wearing fucking Manolo Blahniks when you're at a fucking horse ranch? Okay, what do you think you're going to step in? I mean, I've been, there's horse ranches in my family. I've been to those ranches, and I don't wear fucking my nice shoes when I'm there. And she's smoking like crazy. Just, like very flammable, very dangerous. The horse finally shows up. I don't remember the horse's name because I don't care. And Charlotte attempts to mount the horse, but she can't really do it. She chickens out the last moment, so she gets off it. All right. Moving right along. Now we're with Samantha and Mr. Cocky. John Enos, Mr. Cocky. You know why they call him that? Yes, that's why they call him that. Okay, so anyway, so Mr. Cocky, Mr., some Dirk Diggler there. All right, Mr. Cocky. They're in the bedroom, and he's trying to warn her. He's actually trying to be a gentleman here. He's like, hey, there's something you got to know. And a lot of women have a problem with this. All right, I got the speech rehearsed. Okay, don't ask me how I know it. Okay. Anyway, no. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this character. I'm talking about Johnny Useless character, Mr. Cocky. All right. So he's telling her, hey, I need you to know that I'm extremely well endowed. And of course, the man's like, okay, bring it, baby. He's like, no, you don't understand. I mean, it could hurt. It could really deep. She's like, okay, well, how big can it be? Well, so he's like, she's just like, we've all seen these movies, all right? Come on. Yeah, come on. They're not going to show that here. Yeah, I don't get it. But, okay, you get it. You get it, okay? This guy's fucking hung, all right? He's got a freaking, elephant trunk. He's got a fucking third leg, okay? He's packing some serious meat, all right? Get extra size salami. Okay, swinging past his knees. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're there. Okay, so Samantha's kind of like freaked out about it. So she we don't see what happens, but we find out that nothing happens because Sam and Because Samantha like shits herself. So they don't have sex, and they cut. Next scene is Samantha's talking to Carrie, and they're walking down the street. Of course, Carrie's talking about Big, and Samantha's talking about Mr. Too Big. I get it. She's like, it's like a wall of flesh coming at me. There's nothing I can do with it. She's like, I couldn't get my mouth on it. And I'm afraid I'm gonna get lockjaw. She's like, yeah. And Carrie's like, yeah, I get it. Big dick coming at you, real scary. You know. Samantha's like, tiny hands isn't real. Okay, he's got tiny hands, so that myth is fake. He's like, try again, because it's there. I'm gonna try again. She's like, why? Why are you gonna try to fuck this guy again? He's like, why? Because it's there. He was like, if it was Mount Everest, I could only make it to base camp. Base camp number 1. She's like, you dated Mr. Big. Okay, I'm dating Mr. Too Big. Carrie's like, you broke up with James because he was too small. Okay? And now you're with this guy and he's too big? What are you, like the fucking Goldilocks of cocks? The Goldilocks of cocks. Wow. That's a good analogy there. All right. So Samantha's like, no, I'm just looking for Mr. Right. You're just looking for Mr. Right now. Come on, Samantha. You're not fooling anybody. It is kind of weird, with all these partners that she's had, that, that none of them stuck around. That's just kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of weird for me that she wouldn't want to hold on to one of them, I mean, and one of them's got to be special. I'm not saying most of them won't be special. I'm saying at least one of them would be worth keeping around. It's like this old adage: when something good comes along, if you don't take it, it's going to go to somebody else. It's true. Okay, so now I'll get back to Miranda and Steve. He comes back to her apartment because he wants his T-shirt that he left there back. Yeah, his fire department New York T-shirt back. Yeah, right. Can I just come up for some? You want to come up for some coffee? Absolutely, but I don't like coffee. Well, I don't have any. I saw that in a movie once and I used it. Anyway, but I got coffee right over there. But anyway, okay, never mind. So he's in there. He's in the apartment. Okay, so they're reminiscing about their fucking 2-episode relationship that they had. Okay, and it turns out that Miranda did pay for dinner, so they must have gone somewhere nice, someplace that Steve couldn't afford. Okay, and Steve says, hey, I just want to ask you something. Do friends kiss here? She's like, no. Well, do friends kiss here? She's like, no. Well, do friends kiss here? Okay, you see where this is going. It's cheesy as fuck, but it works, I guess. I guess it works. I've never used that line before, but I don't know. Ladies, does that work? Okay, because I never used it before, but obviously it works in this episode. But I think it has more to do with the fact that she wanted him there. He's not trying to pick her. He's already been with her. Okay, he's not trying to pick her up. Okay, he's already had her. Okay, he's just trying to get something. And I understand. I never use it that method, but I've done that before. I mentioned in the last video, this relationship right there reminds me of a relationship that I once had, where we split up and then we ended up, the next thing you know, we're back in each other's arms again. And, it's just, you didn't see it coming, but it happened, no pun intended, but it happened. And, yeah, I get it. Like a lot of times, we want to, when you miss someone, you miss them, and sometimes when you split up with somebody, there's really no animosity. You still like the person, but for whatever reason, you can't be with them anymore. Maybe you see them, like, I think in this particular girl, I think I couldn't see myself with her for a long time. I couldn't see a future with her. I couldn't see, marriage and kids and any of that stuff with her, okay? But for God's sake, I loved hanging out with her. I really loved going to the movies with her. I loved talking to her. I loved doing things with her. In Chicago, there's a lot of things to do, So that was fun. I loved spending time with her, So, that's kind of what the attraction was. And even though we split up and weren't together anymore, I still felt that way about it. I still wanted to go see, a new movie with her. I still wanted to go out. I still wanted to go dancing. With someone that I knew, someone I respected, someone I liked. So I think that's what's going on here. Although I think Steve is like in love with her because Steve is fucked up. And, never coming off. Yeah, that kind of fucked up. Okay, so they have sex. Okay, they end up doing it again. Which is what Miranda wanted, and it's what Steve wanted. So afterwards, they're kind of like, "Hey, so what are we? Are we back together?" She's like, "No, we're just friends. We're still friends. Friends that fuck. That's all." Friends. Yeah, like I said, Ashton Kutcher, freaking Justin Timberlake, Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis territory here. We've all seen those movies. They never last. Someone gets their feelings hurt. Somebody wants more. I already went over this before, but that's where they're at, and nobody fucking believes it. We don't believe it. Okay. So that's going on. Back to Samantha and Mr. Cocky. She tries. Okay, she tries to take it in. She tries to lay back and take it all in. Which, hey, props to her, man. That can't be easy. She says she did a lot of yoga classes, yoga stretches, and smoked a lot of herb. I don't know. Hey, you know what? I don't do drugs or anything, but I remember when I did smoke weed, long time ago. Yeah, I remember it was pretty just like rabbits, just getting horny like rabbits. Damn. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So anyway, so he's going in there. He's going to town. Just the tip. I'm having deja vu here. Oh shit. Yeah. No. Okay. So he's basically doing the whole like, okay, all right, okay, how's that feel? Feel good? Okay, now I'm going a little bit more. Okay, there you go. Okay, you like that? Huh? Is that good? She's like, oh yeah. Oh great. He's like, okay, I'm about to go. She's like, what? You're not. He's like, no, I just got the head in. I still got to put the rest in. It's kind of, no. You know what? Let's just be friends. So Samantha finally becomes friends with a guy. Wow, because his dick is just too fucking big, man. Just too, yeah, you know what? Women come in all shapes and sizes too, okay? And I know that from experience, okay? Some of them, it's like, it's the Grand Canyon. And some of them, it's, like one of those little plastic poppers, when you pop it, yeah, it's like one of those, So, it just, they make them all different shapes and sizes. Everybody, men and women. So the key is you got to find what's right, what fits. Sometimes they don't fit. I don't talk from experience, but I heard a friend told me that, it doesn't always feel good if it's too big. Especially if it's, if you're not like warmed up, all lubed up down there. Like it hurts. I don't know. Does it? Well, I do know, but like I said, this is what a friend told me. Okay, so that's all I can say about that. All right. But yeah, okay, yeah. So you can see the look of disappointment on John Enos's face, Mr. Cocky's face. He's just like, save it for Tracy Lords, buddy. Save it for Tracy Lords. Okay. So yeah, they decide to be friends. Okay, and just like that, Samantha has a male friend. Okay, moving right along. Go back to Charlotte. Charlotte tries to get to know the horse. Okay, she goes back to the ranch. She starts talking to the horse now. Tries to bond with it first, and that somehow gives her the courage to want to mount it again, to get back in the saddle. And so she does. She gets on the horse. She gets back on the horse. Get it? Not it's a metaphor for not just getting on the horse, but for I guess dating again or something. I don't know. She hasn't been traumatized this season at all, really. I mean, not much. So and that's it. It's her and a horse. Get it, Mr. Cocky, and then Charlotte and the horse. Get it? Get the symbolism here? I think they're trying to say a message in this episode, okay? All right, it's not about being friends either. Okay, so move forward here, Big. Big's alone at home, and he tries to call Carrie. He apologizes to her, on her answering machine, because she doesn't answer the phone. But she's standing there listening to him. He's like, you know what? I just wanted to let you know that I'm sorry about how things planned out. I didn't mean to hurt you. I would never do anything to hurt you on purpose. And then she picks up the phone. She was like, I know that, Big. I know you never do it. So she's calmed down now, and she's trying to be more understanding. And I get it. She was in shock, earlier, and now she's just dealing with the guilt, the depression, that comes with these things, And Carrie answers, she says, I know you would never hurt me. And she says, I'm sorry. It was a shock that I needed to hear. He goes, I wish you and her the best. Absolutely. And I hope that someday we might be friends, but right now I can't do it. It hurts too much, which is what I've been saying all along. She hasn't let go of Big. She never let go. Even last season, she didn't let go of Big. Throughout this entire season, Big's presence has been felt in the background, even if he's not in the foreground. He's been in the background. This whole show, the entire Sex and the City show, Big is the co-star, okay? And Big isn't there physically; he's there spiritually. He's there in the background. I read the book Dracula a long time ago when I was a teenager. I read the book, the Bram Stoker novel. Okay, and like I said, the novel's called Dracula. Okay, but if you actually read the story, okay, Dracula is only in maybe 10% of the story. Okay, the rest of it are the other characters. Okay, so Dracula doesn't have very much screen time, you could say, in his own novel that has his own name as the title, but his presence is felt in every fucking page. Okay. Like he's in the background. He's that looming figure in the background. He's that person that everyone's talking about, but talking around him. But you can feel his presence in every single page. You can feel his influence in every line. In every character's point of view. So he's there but not there, and that's what this show is. Carrie's the main character. Carrie's in the foreground, but Big's in the background. Every episode, he's in the background. He's back there. Everything is somehow revolved around him and Carrie. This whole show. The entire season, even the new show, and just like that, he's in the background. His spirit's there, So yeah, so that's what the show is. It's Carrie and Big. It's a Carrie and Big show. So that's going on, and he understands. And she later on she gets an invite to his engagement party, and it bothers her. Of course, she tells her girlfriends about it. She says, "Big and I were never friends." And she doesn't understand why. She's talking to her girlfriends again. They're all together. And she says, Big and I were never friends. And I still can't understand why he picked her and not me. Why did he pick her? I don't get it. And we've all felt that way. I know I have in my life. Like, well, why did a girl, dump me for some piece of shit? I've seen it before. I remember this one girl I dated, and then she just said, I don't want to see you anymore. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I ran into her at a party. It was a wedding, believe it or not. Yeah, it was a wedding. One of our mutual friends was getting married, so I was there, and I hadn't seen her in a couple of months. And the guy that I saw her with, I guess is the guy that she dumped me for, was just he was like a cokehead and just like made a big fool of himself, at this party. And when she saw me and I saw her with him, I could tell the look on her face. She was embarrassed. She was so fucking embarrassed to have brought him to this wedding in front of our mutual friends, like I could tell. Okay, but hey, so I was thinking, okay, really, this guy? She chose this guy over me, but I was already seeing someone else with that, so it didn't hurt me. But I just remember thinking that, like, damn, this guy over me, really? Holy shit! Whatever, to each his own, And that's kind of how Carrie feels. You could be like, why would he pick that girl? Well, I think we know why he picked that girl. Okay, and I already said it. It's because she's low maintenance. Natasha's lower maintenance than Carrie. Big doesn't have to do as much to impress Natasha. Okay, to make Natasha happy, as he does with Carrie. Carrie wants a lot of things, because she stresses out over everything, And Miranda says, like, yeah, he's like Hubble. He's like Hubble from In the Way We Were with Barbra Streisand. For those of you who have not seen that movie, okay, it's an old movie. I saw it once, like 20-something years ago. Okay, Barbra Streisand is basically this Jewish princess, activist, feminist, communist, socialist, because it takes place during like the 1920s and stuff, and she's very politically, into the socialist stuff, and she falls in love with Robert Redford, who's rich, handsome, good-looking, cute, attractive, wealthy, and easy on the eyes. Okay. And he becomes an officer in the Navy during the war, and they get married, and he's way above her. I mean, he's like a 10, and Barbra Streisand is like a 4, okay, with that big nose of hers. Nothing against Barbra Streisand. I know she's a talented woman, but she ain't the best-looking woman in the world, and she knows it, okay? She knows it too, okay? You got like women like Jane Fonda, you know, who was hot back in the day, and then you got Barbara Streisand, who, you know, anyway, so she's out of her league, okay, and he ends up cheating on her, and you know, they break up, and Barbara Streisand's character goes through the whole thing like, why'd you pick her? Why not her, not me? I'm better than her. Well, it's because, you know, and there's a scene in the movie where he tells her, she says like, I'm easier than her. Easier compared to what? The 100 Years War? She's way too high maintenance. Barbara Streisand's way too high maintenance for Robert Redford. Not when he can get a pretty younger thing. And that's what he does. He cheats on her and he ends up leaving her, you know. At the end of the movie, you know, Barbara Streisand goes up to him, goes like, you know, you don't get it, Hubble? And she rubs his hair, and you never will. And she walks away. So that was like her, you know, ending, whatever. She had to have the last laugh, the last word in. And that's what Carrie's talking about. And of course, Samantha's never seen the movie because she hates chick flicks. Good for you, Samantha. Good for you. And they explain it to her, what I just explained to you, basically. You know, and like I said, it's one of those Jewish New York love stories. You know, well, Rob Redford's not Jewish in the movie, but Carrie compares herself to Barbara Streisand's character. You know, and the world, you know, the world is full of simple girls and you know, and Katie girls, because Barbara Streisand's character was Katie. And so they start singing, memories, the way we were. Yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. I know she's a good singer, but that song fucking sucks. It sucks. But we had to hear the whole fucking tune. They sang the whole fucking thing for Samantha, like she fucking asked for it. And then she said something like, you know, I miss James and his little penis. I'd rather be with James's little penis right now than listen to you fuckers singing the way we were. Okay. Way too much estrogen for me too, Samantha. Way too much. Okay. So that goes on, Carrie. Why wasn't it me? Why wasn't it me? And Big's like, you know, Big talks to Carrie, you know. She sees him walking down the street, you know, because they always run into each other. New York's only one block, so you always run into each other every day. She sees Big about to get in a car. She signals him over, and she basically comes up to him and confronts him and says, oh, why not me? Why wasn't it me? And Big's like, I don't know. It just got so hard. You know, it just got so hard, and she's so, which is exactly what I've been saying this whole video here, you know. And Carrie's like, yeah, your girl's lovely, Hubble. He's like, Hubble? Who the fuck's Hubble? he's like, who the fuck's Hubble? I don't get it. Yep. And you never will. She walks away, all dramatic, like I got to get the last word in. Okay, well, good for you, Carrie, you know, because she had to get the last word in. You know, how else are you going to end the episode? With him getting the last word? Of course not. The show's not about him. It's about her. Okay? So, what do you call it? Carrie realized that maybe it wasn't her that tamed Big. Maybe it was Big, or maybe it was Big. Maybe her job was, maybe it was Big that couldn't tame her instead of her not being able to tame Big, you know? Maybe it's Big that couldn't tame me. See, that empowerment. Gotta get that empowerment before you close out the season. And then she walks away, and that's the end of it. Okay? So that was the end of season 2. Thank God we got through season 2. And that was 18 episodes as opposed to last season, which was like 8 or 10 episodes, you know. So we got through it. Great. Good to go. Okay, so I will be back for season 3 soon. We'll start doing those episodes again. I can't wait to get back to these characters and find out what's going on. I want to say, everyone, thank you for sticking with me on this. It's been a great journey. I love doing it. All of you out there watching my videos, commenting, thank you so much. And like I said, I'm giving you a straight